Humanity was dying. The cities of Earth were no longer places of light and laughter. They were ruins, smoking under alien fire. Streets that once carried life were filled with silence, broken only by the sound of collapsing buildings and the distant roar of enemy engines. 4 years, the war had dragged on. At first, humans believed they could fight. They had ships, weapons, and courage. But courage was not enough. The invaders were too strong, too advanced, too many. Humanity's fleets were torn apart, their proud flagships destroyed one by one. Now, most of the survivors lived underground, hiding in bunkers and caves, afraid to look at the sky. Because the sky no longer belonged to them, it belonged to the conquerors. The aliens, called the Zerul, were merciless. Towering, insect-like creatures with hard black shells and glowing red eyes. They came without warning, and they gave no mercy. Their fleets moved through the stars like a storm, and Earth had been nothing more than another target. No one remembered the last time Earth had won a battle. The United Earth Defense Fleet had been broken at Mars, their final stand crushed in less than an hour. The last admiral had sent a desperate message before his ship was destroyed. "This is the end. Survive, if you can. We have failed." After that, the people of Earth stopped waiting for rescue. They lived day by day, praying the aliens would not find their hidden shelters. Hope was gone. Humanity had fallen. But then, something happened. Far from Earth, on the dark edge of the solar system, long-range scanners detected movement. A single, massive object drifting in the black void. At first, it was believed to be another Zerul warship, a new monster arriving to finish the job. Fear spread quickly through the underground bunkers. If another enemy fleet had come, then the end was truly certain. But then the object did something strange. It decloaked. From the darkness, a warship emerged, unlike anything humanity had ever seen. It was vast, larger than any ship the Earth fleet had ever built. Its hull was black and silver, with glowing lines of blue light running across its surface like veins of energy. It moved with quiet power, as if the stars themselves bent around it. Every human eye turned toward the screens, watching in silence. "Is it alien?" someone whispered. But it did not look like the Zerul. Its design was sharp, angular, and strangely familiar. Almost human. Then, a signal came. Across every surviving bunker, across every hidden colony, a voice spoke. Metallic, calm, but with a tone that carried strength. "People of Earth, do not fear. Humanity is not alone. We have returned." For a moment, no one believed it. Could this be real? Could there truly be humans out there, strong enough to build a ship like this? Or was it some alien trick to draw them out of hiding? The warship stayed silent for a long moment, as if waiting for humanity to breathe again. Then its weapons activated, brilliant beams of white fire, faster and brighter than anything human technology had ever created. In a single strike, it destroyed a Zerul patrol fleet near Saturn. The alien ships did not even have time to react. They were wiped from existence in seconds. Shock turned into whispers. Whispers turned into hope. The aliens, they're retreating. They destroyed them so easily. Who are they? Where did they come from? Questions filled the air, but no answers came. The warship only gave one final message. "We are the Sentinel. Humanity will rise again." And then, the ship disappeared back into the void, cloaked once more. The underground cities erupted with emotion. Some people cheered. Some cried. Others feared it was only a dream. For so long, humanity had known nothing but despair. Now, for the first time in years, a spark of hope burned again. But the mystery remained. Who were they? Humans from another world? Survivors of a secret project? Or something more? No one knew. And until the warship returned, the question would remain unanswered. Still, the message could not be forgotten. Humanity will rise again. The people of Earth clung to those words, desperate to believe them. Because if they were true, then maybe the war was not over. Maybe humanity had not fallen completely. And deep in the cold void of space, the mysterious warship drifted silently, waiting, watching, preparing. The war for humanity was not finished. It was only just beginning. The mysterious warship was gone, but the memory of its arrival remained. In every bunker, in every hidden shelter across Earth, people whispered the same name. The Sentinel. It had appeared from nowhere, destroyed an alien fleet in seconds, and then vanished back into the stars. No one had ever seen power like that before, not even the Zerul. For the first time in years, people dared to hope. Maybe humanity was not finished. Maybe someone, somewhere, still fought for them. But hope is dangerous. Hope creates questions. And questions can lead to fear. Who are they really? Asked a survivor in the London bunker. Why did they wait so long to show themselves? Demanded a commander in New Tokyo. If they are humans, why didn't they fight with us when Earth was burning? Rumors spread quickly. Some believed the Sentinel was a lost human fleet, built in secret and hidden away for centuries. Others said it was a ship from the future, sent back in time to save humanity at its darkest hour. A few even whispered that it wasn't human at all, that it was some alien trick, wearing human colors to win their trust. The leaders of Earth's broken defense council argued endlessly. Some wanted to reach out, to send signals into the void. Others warned against it, fearing the ship might be hostile. After all, the crew of the Sentinel had not shown themselves. No faces, no proof, only a voice. And that voice was strange. Too perfect. Too calm. Almost artificial. Still, the people could not forget what they had seen. One ship destroying an entire alien fleet without effort. That kind of power could change everything. If humanity could stand beside such a weapon, maybe Earth had a chance to rise again. Days passed in silence. The Zerul grew cautious. Their patrols around Earth became fewer, their movements slower. For the first time, the invaders looked nervous. And then, one night, the Sentinel returned. It decloaked above the moon, black and silver against the stars. Its sheer size dwarfed anything humanity had ever built. Even in silence, it radiated authority. This time, it spoke directly to the survivors. People of Earth, we are not your enemy. We are your shield. The war is not over. The fight begins again. The words shook the bunkers. Cheers erupted, tears flowed, hope returned. But some remained cautious. A small group of soldiers, veterans of Earth's last battles, demanded answers. They sent a message back to the Sentinel. Who are you? Where do you come from? Why should we trust you? For a moment, there was only silence. Then the voice replied. We are human. We are what you could have been, and what you must become. The message ended there. No further explanation. No clear answers. But actions speak louder than words. And the Sentinel was ready to act. It deployed drones, sleek machines of black steel and glowing blue light. They landed near Earth's hidden bunkers, delivering supplies, food, medicine, weapons. Things humanity desperately needed. Along with them came strange devices, small pieces of alien-looking technology that no one understood. Gifts, the voice of the Sentinel said. Tools to strengthen you. But not all knowledge will be given. You must earn the rest. This only deepened the mystery. Why were they hiding so much? Why offer help but not trust? Despite the doubts, humanity began to rise again. With new weapons in hand, resistance cells struck against Zerul patrols. Small victories spread across the planet. For the first time in years, humans were fighting back. And the Sentinel was always there, watching from orbit. When resistance fighters were in danger, it struck with precise, terrifying power. Entire alien fleets vanished under its guns. But each time the humans asked to see the crew, the answer was the same. Not yet. Suspicion grew. Some whispered that the ship was not crewed at all, that it was an AI, a machine built long ago, carrying out orders from a forgotten past. Others said it was haunted, a ghost ship guided by the souls of lost humans. The truth remained hidden, but one thing was certain: the Sentinel was no ordinary warship. It seemed to know too much. When humans planned an attack, the Sentinel already had strategies prepared. When the aliens moved, the Sentinel reacted before anyone even detected them. It was as if the warship could see the future. The Zeruel began to fear it. They gathered their armada, preparing for a final, crushing strike. They could not allow this single ship to turn the tide of war. But even as danger loomed, hope spread across Earth like fire. For the first time in living memory, humans raised their heads and looked at the stars with courage, not fear. Because out there, in the darkness, was proof that humanity was not alone. Proof that something stronger than despair still existed. And though no one knew the truth of the Sentinel's past, one thing was clear. The ghost of humanity had returned. And it had brought with it the promise of a future. The galaxy grew restless. The Zeruel could no longer ignore the mysterious warship that had appeared from the shadows. Their patrol fleets had been destroyed, their plans disrupted, and for the first time, they felt fear. A single ship, just one, was defying them, and humanity was beginning to rise again under its protection. The alien leaders made their decision. They would not allow the Sentinel to exist any longer. They would crush it with overwhelming force. And so, the largest Zeruel armada ever seen gathered in the blackness of space. Hundreds of warships, bristling with weapons, converged near Jupiter. Their goal was simple: destroy the Sentinel, and wipe out the last spark of human hope. On Earth, whispers of the coming battle spread quickly. Resistance leaders, scientists, and soldiers were contacted by the Sentinel itself. For the first time, it revealed a plan. The enemy comes with their full strength. Alone, we cannot defeat them. Together, we may survive. Stand with us. It was a call to arms. Humanity, long broken and scattered, prepared for one last stand. From underground bunkers, old warships were dragged out of hiding. Broken hulls were repaired with Sentinel technology. Weapons once thought useless were powered again by strange blue energy cells. The humans did not understand this new technology fully, but it worked. That was enough. In secret shipyards, fighters were rebuilt. Small crews gathered, determined to fly again even if it meant their death. Families said goodbye to loved ones, knowing they might never return. For the first time in years, humanity looked up to the stars not with despair, but with purpose. The Sentinel waited near Jupiter, its black and silver hull gleaming against the void. Around it, human ships assembled, battered and small compared to its massive form. To the eyes of the Zeruel, the human fleet looked weak, pathetic, broken. But to the humans, it was everything they had. The battle began with silence. Then, the stars lit up with fire. The Zeruel armada surged forward like a tidal wave of steel and flame. Their ships released swarms of burning plasma bolts, enough to melt moons into dust. The human fleet held the line, shields straining, ships breaking apart under the onslaught. But then the Sentinel moved. Its weapons glowed with searing blue light. Beams of pure energy cut through the enemy ships like paper. Explosions rippled across the Zeruel fleet as 1, 2, 10 ships were destroyed in moments. The humans followed its lead. Small fighters darted between the massive alien cruisers, striking weak points, guided by instructions from the Sentinel. Somehow, the warship knew exactly where to strike, exactly how to move. It was as if it had fought this battle before. Still, the enemy's numbers were overwhelming. For every Zeruel ship destroyed, more poured into the fight. The human fleet began to collapse. Whole squadrons were wiped out. Cruisers burned. Commanders screamed last orders before being silenced forever. Hold the line. The Sentinel's voice thundered across every channel. Stand firm, humanity does not fall today. With renewed strength, the humans fought on. But as the battle dragged forward, a terrible realization spread among them. The Sentinel wasn't just fighting the Zeruel. It was predicting them. Every alien maneuver was countered before it even began. Every ambush was avoided, every trap undone. It was as though the sentinel could see through the enemy's mind, as if it already knew what the aliens would do. Whispers spread among the human crews. How can it know so much? Is it reading the future? Or is it hiding something from us? But there was no time to ask. The Zerul unleashed their greatest weapon, a colossal flagship, larger than mountains, armed with cannons that could shatter planets. It moved into the center of the fight, releasing a storm of destruction. Human ships burned like paper under its fire. Even the sentinel staggered, its shields flashing as the giant weapon struck. For the first time, it looked vulnerable. The humans braced for death. But the sentinel did not retreat. Instead, it charged. Its black hull streaked with blue fire, it plunged straight into the heart of the Zerul fleet. Its weapons screamed, tearing through ships left and right. Human fighters followed in its wake, striking the enemy's weak points. The battle became chaos. Explosions lit the darkness. The human fleet was torn apart, but they did not stop. Every loss was another reason to fight harder. Every death was another reason to stand. At last, the sentinel reached the enemy flagship. Its voice echoed one final command. For Earth. For humanity. Strike now. Every surviving human ship launched their weapons at the same time. Missiles, plasma fire, beams of stolen alien energy, all of it rained down upon the alien giant. And with a blinding explosion, the flagship was destroyed. The Zerul armada broke. Ships scattered in panic, fleeing into the void. Humanity had won, against all odds. But victory came with a cost. Only a handful of human ships remained. The fleet was shattered, heroes lost. Yet they had survived. Against the strongest force the Zerul had ever gathered, humanity stood. The sentinel floated silently in the wreckage, scarred but unbroken. Its voice spoke once more, calm but heavy. The battle is won. But this war has only begun. The humans cheered, but deep inside, unease remained. Because the sentinel was still a mystery. It had saved them. It had led them to victory. But it had also shown knowledge no ordinary ship could possess. Where did that knowledge come from? And what was the sentinel really hiding? The truth was coming. And it would change everything. The battlefield near Jupiter was silent. Wreckage drifted in endless darkness. Burned-out alien hulls floated beside shattered human cruisers. Thousands of lives had been lost, yet the impossible had happened. The Zerul armada was broken. For the first time in living memory, humanity had won. On Earth, survivors cheered, cried, and embraced. Resistance fighters who had once hidden in fear now walked proudly under the open sky. Hope, long dead, was alive again. And yet, questions remained. The sentinel had led them to victory, but its mystery still hung heavy over every survivor. It had predicted enemy moves before they happened. It had given humanity weapons beyond their understanding. It had fought with power no one believed possible. Who, or what, was it really? The answer came sooner than expected. 2 days after the battle, the sentinel summoned the leaders of humanity. Not through messages, not through distant broadcasts. This time, it invited them aboard. Shuttles carried men and women from Earth's underground shelters into the great black ship. For many, it was the first time they had left their planet since the war began. Their eyes widened as they entered the Sentinel's halls, vast corridors of silver and black, glowing softly with blue energy. The technology was beyond anything they had ever seen. Walls hummed with power, doors opened without touch, and the air itself felt alive. At the heart of the ship, they found the command chamber. And there, at last, they saw the crew. They were human. But not like any humans alive on Earth. Tall, sharp-eyed, wearing strange armor of black and silver. Their faces bore the same features as those from Earth, but their presence was different. Calm, powerful, and almost otherworldly. One of them stepped forward. His voice was the same voice that had spoken across the stars. "We are the Sentinel. We are your brothers and sisters. Long ago, we left Earth, and we never forgot you." Shock filled the chamber. How could this be? Humanity had never known of another colony, another people out there in the stars. The leader explained. Hundreds of years ago, before the Zerul invasion, a secret project had been launched. A hidden fleet was sent into deep space, carrying advanced research, technology, and people chosen to preserve humanity's future. They had disappeared from history, erased so no enemy could ever find them. They had built their own world, far beyond Earth. They had advanced while Earth struggled. And when the Zerul came, they watched from the shadows, waiting. "We could not reveal ourselves," the man said. "Not until the moment was right. Humanity had to face despair, had to endure. If we came too early, you would never be ready. Now, you have proven your strength. You have fought with us, and you have survived." The truth stunned the leaders. Relief mixed with anger. "Why did you wait so long?" one of them demanded. "Millions died. Cities burned. You could have saved us sooner." The Sentinel's commander lowered his head. "We regret every death. But this war is greater than Earth. The Zerul are not the only enemy. They are scouts, servants of something far worse. If humanity cannot survive them, you will never survive what comes next." The room went cold. The Zerul, only scouts? Humanity had nearly been wiped out by them. What greater terror could be waiting beyond the stars? The Sentinel's crew spoke no more of it. Instead, they offered a choice. They would share more technology, train Earth survivors, rebuild the human fleet. But only if humanity accepted the truth, that the war was not finished. Earth had been the first battlefield, not the last. The leaders of Earth looked at one another. They were exhausted, broken, grieving. But they also remembered the battle at Jupiter. They remembered how humanity had stood, how they had refused to die. Slowly, one by one, they nodded. "We will fight," one leader said. "For Earth," another added. "For humanity," said the rest. The Sentinel's commander gave a faint smile. "Then rise, children of Earth. The dawn has come. The war for your future begins now." And so, humanity began to rebuild. Ships were forged, stronger than before. Survivors trained with new weapons, learning from the warriors of the Sentinel. Across the ruined world, people lifted their eyes to the stars, not with fear, but with determination. The Zerul had been defeated, but everyone knew they would return. And behind them, in the dark unknown, waited an even greater enemy. The people of Earth no longer hid underground. They no longer whispered in fear. They had a future. They had allies. They had a reason to fight. The Sentinel watched over them, silent and powerful, a ghost from humanity's past guiding them toward tomorrow. But even as hope grew, one final truth remained. The battle for Earth was only the beginning. The real war had yet to come.